This Christian's about to get sketchy. In my sketchbook, it is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. Starting with the grittiness of a broken world and exploring through comic books the gateway to grace that is Jesus Christ. My name is John Bursell. I am a Christian artist living and raising my son in Montana, creating everything from paintings, poetry, photography, graphic design, and culinary dishes. I have also taught many art classes. I love Jesus, Mountain Dew, and loud music. Currently, I'm funneling all of my energy into my book series, My Walk. Download free comic books at mywalkcomic.com. If this is the sort of thing you like, then do the sort of thing people do when they like this sort of thing. I'm going to go draw now. Like and subscribe. Okay. I'm going to attempt to figure out a new way of doing my characters. And I was doing this basically experimenting, just sketching with my paintbrush, but now I want to come up with something that's quick and easy for these characters. I want them to look simple, like Charlie Brown, Snoopy, all of that. We'll see if I can accomplish that. So today I have a pounding headache. I am exhausted from work. Luke is at his mom's house. My son is 8, and I feel a little torn about that too. I just like him around at all times. I really love being around my son. But despite the headache and the heartache and all the other stuff going on, I am going to press forward. I'm going to give this my best shot. And what's really hard is the way I have this camera set up. I've been trying to figure out the best way to set up my camera with the lighting and all that good stuff so I can capture my drawings. The ones I did in the past, videos weren't so good. Maybe this will be an improvement. What's hard is the fact that I can't really move or breathe the way this is set up, so I still might play with it a little bit. I'm going to adjust it, but we will see. This marker is running out, and I need to order more markers because these pens, I've used them so much, they are wore out. So what I'm going to do with all of this is I'm just going to outline everything. Outline it with the pen, with the marker, and keeping everything simple shapes, as simple as I can. And then I'm going to see what I can do with my brush. Add some thicker lines, some shadows. I kind of like how these are looking, even though the pen's going out on me. I need some new pens. But We'll see. So, this is for my story, My Walk. Some character development. Some of it needs some work. A lot of work. That just looks hokey. Really hokey. But what can you do? So yeah, despite this raging headache, I told myself I need to put in the work, put in the time. If I don't have loop today, maybe I can focus some energy here. I guess what my goal is I've got 8 issues storyboarded, and I want to take these little sketches that I have for the shapes of my characters. I'll give you an example. I've got some bare bone. I did a bunch of different studies of the anatomy of my characters just to block them in so that they're all similar. And then I've been penciling over them with each character design. Just not even making character sheets right now to get all the angles and stuff. I feel like I've got all of the anatomy down as far as the shapes. I may have to come up with some different poses maybe for the story as the story goes. It may require some different ones. I've got 10 pages of these printed up of different angles and different positions. 10 pages. I might have to, as the story goes, add some to it. But right now, I guess what my focus is just kind of getting some of the poses down, getting the character development down, and then also playing with the tools, the medium that I'm using with the ink and with, I don't know, I like this marker just simple, but I also like the brushwork I was doing on another one that I did. So we'll see if the brush messes it up or not. So this is all, even though it's time consuming, it's just an experimentation on getting my look down and practicing. Like, what do my characters look like? How do I want them portrayed? How do I want this book to look and feel? And I do like this camera positioning better than anything I've done so far as how it's recording. Now, how I can see my work is a lot different. Different story. But and if this marker wasn't drying up, I think I'd be tempted to just do all my solid blacks with this marker. But maybe I'll just save it for the brush. some of the smaller, more detailed black areas, I might use this marker on it. I think the brush might be too thick for some of this stuff, because the one I did in brush before, I didn't have as much detail. I don't know, I just want to come up with something simple, edgy, gritty. I don't want it to look too polished. I want it to have some grit to it, and I want people to look at it and go, oh, I could draw that. To me, it's just more accessible. I feel like in the past, I've loved a lot of different artists, different styles of art, not just comics, but across the board, from classical artists to some of the more modern, from fantasy art to what I like to call all the turtles, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, all of those guys. And then some of the modern illustrators like Frank Frazetta, Bernie Wrightston, who did Swamp Thing. And so I do like the detailed art too, but there's just something to me that's magical about comic strip art. The Calvin and Hobbes, the Charlie Brown. It's really strange because I've always pictured myself doing the more detailed, realistic art. The superhero stuff with all of the anatomy, with all the muscles, and for some reason this was just calling to me to do it this way. I don't know how well it's gonna look. We're gonna find out, I guess. We'll see what happens. But I have had this story in my head for far too long, since 2014, and now it's 2024 as of this recording. And I feel like it's time to actually make this something that's real. I need to have a finished product that people can actually see instead of just a project. Instead of ideas and daydreams, I need to do something. This guy's hair, Richard, his hair is going to be white. I have to remember not to black him in. White beard. There we go. These poses almost make them look like little action figures, and that's what I kind of got the poses from. Luke has this Spider-Man action figure that's got a big head. He rides a motorcycle. And I used that figure because I like the shapes. It was the closest thing I had to anything Charlie Brown. I just like the shape of the peanuts and how they look. And it was a close shape, and then I started playing with it, and it's starting to become something that's mine. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like when you use a model to draw from, even if it's an action figure, and that's what you're basing your characters off of, it gave me something solid to look at and to go by, and I don't know, it just gave it a consistency. I like everything to kind of feel like it's in the same universe and not just something all over the map. A little Mormon guy. But I don't know, should I try to ink this with a brush? Some of this, I need a better marker, that's for sure. And markers cost money. I'm excited to get this Christian comic book out of my head and onto some paper. Well, that's some characters so far. I'm going to try to attempt to use this number 2 Blick brush and do some inking. Kind of look over my characters real quick, see if I missed anything. Maybe I could just black in some stuff. Maybe I should do that really quick. Some of this is too fine of a spot for this big brush to go in. So maybe like the beard, and I can go through with the brush and just add some black in there. Yeah, I definitely need to get some more markers. These things are just... Oh, I wish this headache would go away. But I've got things to create. I have to stop sitting around and daydreaming, even on my good days. I have spent so much time in my life, even when I felt good, sitting around daydreaming about doing stuff and never actually doing anything. When I was young, I had all these ideas and I never did them. I always talked about it. Now I'm 53 years old. I'm tired. I have headaches. I work all day. Take care of my son at night. And there's no more time and no more excuses. This has to happen. Oh, wish I had a better marker. I need to order some next payday. This is essential. This I need to keep going. Maybe I can hit that with a brush. What else is on here? Nothing else is blacked in except for her hair. He's gray. Yeah, nothing else is blacked in. So, maybe I'll just put some shadow there, shadow here, and here. underneath. Oh, he's blacked in. Yep, all of this. Okay. Duh. And he's got white teeth. Some of these characters, they always have black in their open mouth. Some have white teeth. Just trying to keep them straight, so that's good. Okay. Put some shadow in underneath the shirt, just to kind of give it a little bit of depth. I don't want to overdo the shadow because of how simple I want to keep these characters. I might have to retire this thing. Oh my gosh. So, get out my big jar of ink. And let's get to it. Let's see how badly I can mess these up. Let's see. Get rid of that pen. Better take my glasses off. Okay. It sucks getting old because then your eyesight goes. And your hand isn't as steady as it used to be. And I've had some time where I haven't been drawing and sketching and creating. I got wrapped up in life, and that happens with everybody. But now I'm super stoked and excited to get back into this. And I feel like I need to start over and re-practice. And I don't want to fall into that trap. I keep catching myself doing that. I set up this whole coming summer. It's towards the end of the school year right now. And I had it in my mind that this whole summer I'm going to do a level up sketchbook, and I'm still going to do that stuff and practice. But how much practice do you need to do on things? It's like it turns into your whole entire life, and you never get to the project you want to do. I keep preparing for it. Let's prepare to get better. You know, if my characters look like what I'm doing right now, then that's what they're going to look like. I have to get this done. I have to do this. I have to accomplish something in my life. I want to get this done, and I just went outside his mouth. So, let's see if we can go a little bit bigger. There. I need to get some white out too. I need to get some new glasses so I can see, because I can't see what I'm doing half the time. It's a struggle. But I am done with excuses. I'm done with, oh, I've got a headache today. I'm not going to do anything but watch movies. There's a time and place for movies, and I get a lot of great inspiration and ideas from movies. But at the same time, I need to actually get this done. I figure if I do this, 10 pages of these characters, put in 10 pages worth of time. That'll give me a rough idea of how I'm going to do these. I don't think that these look that bad at all. I might just do my books this way instead of keep drawing and redrawing, and it's time to, if it's gritty and sloppy and that's my style and it gets done and I'm telling the story and the art serves the story, then so be it. That's what I'm going to do. I feel like God has been calling me to do something, and I haven't been doing it, so it's time. This character doesn't have much dark on him at all. None of them do. Okay. No more ink. Loading the brush because Tony's got a lot of black. I like this character. He's fun. He's going to be fun in the story. He's my autistic character. And I wrote this story so long ago that there are chunks of it I can't even remember. I do want to work on the ending a little more. I just feel like I want to, I don't know. You know, you ever watch a movie or read a comic or a story and just the twists and turns and it blows your mind at the end? And I want to do that. I want to leave an impact.